Everybody, welcome to day 2 of Ceramics A. You need your notebook because we're going to start with some notes. You're going to learn way more about me, Ms. Schmidt, than you ever wanted to know. You're going to make some tiles, so you'll actually start working with clay today. And you're going to tell me a little bit more about yourself so I can get to know you even though we're not going to be in person this year. So first, let's jump into some notes. Open up to the next clean page in your notebook. You want to stay organized, so it's really easy for you to find day 1, day 2, day 3, etc. So please turn to the second page and write down these 4 terms. Pause the video, write down these 4 terms on the second page of your notebook. Ready, go. Good job. Here, I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on some of these terms. So first, term number 1 is stoneware clay. That is the type of clay that you have in your swag bag. It's a clay body that becomes mature, which means becomes permanent, when fired up to 2,100 degrees, which is way hotter than your oven could do at home. So you can't fire your clay in your oven. 2,100 degrees is called cone 6. In ceramic terms, because ceramic artists don't measure heat in degrees Fahrenheit, we measure heat in cones. There's different numbers of cones. So what you need to remember is cone 6. Stoneware clay contains grog, which are little rocks or stones, which that's what gives it its name, stoneware. And those little rocks or grog make the clay strong. It's one of the strongest types of clay there is. Term number 2 is wedging table. A wedging table is a canvas-covered surface used to wedge clay upon. And you created a wedging table when you taped that piece of canvas that I gave you to your workspace yesterday. So you now have a wedging table to work on, to wedge on, and the clay will not stick to that canvas. That's why we create that little mini wedging table at home so you can wedge clay without it sticking. Term number 3 is ram's head wedging. Ram's head wedging means using both hands to push the clay away from you and then roll the clay back toward you. And you do this repeatedly on the wedging table. So it's like making bread dough. If you've ever kneaded bread dough, it's that same exact motion of push away, pull back, push away, pull back. And wedging does 3 things for your clay. It mixes the clay so it's more consistent. It dries the clay out so it's less sticky. And it helps push out any air bubbles, which could make your project blow up. So, and it's called ram's head wedging, excuse me, because when you do it right, the clay actually ends up starting to look like a male sheep's head, like a ram. And so you're going to learn how to ram's head wedge later this week. Your final term for today is slip. Slip is liquid clay that helps glue 2 pieces together and create greater strength. And you're starting to make your own slip today with our clay assignment that you are going to begin today. So those notes that you just took are going to be part of a quiz that's happening next week. So make sure you always get the notes for the day, always keep them in your notebook in order so they're easy for you to find. Okay, a little introduction. Yesterday, I just told you my name. I did not tell you anything else about me. So I'm going to let you in a little bit more into my life so you can learn a little bit more about your teacher. So I've been at Woodbury High School now for 21 years. That is a very, very long time. And I feel so lucky to do what I do. I really do have the best job. I love sharing my passion for ceramics with students. I am a somewhat professional potter. I do make and sell my pots at one gallery in Minneapolis and also online. I have a family of 4, and we have assorted animals also in our family. This is me in my kiln shed, or as I like to call it, my pottery barn. My kiln is named Mr. Burns, again, because I love puns. And I also really, really love sloths. So I painted a sloth on the side of the door of my kiln shed, and this is where I fire my pots at home. On the right, you'll see a green teapot that I made. I put a lot of animals on my work, and so I was part of a virtual workshop called Elusive Zoomorphism, which basically means things that look like animals. And so that's an example of the kind of pottery that I make and sell. So I mentioned that I love sloths. For my birthday last year, my husband bought me a ticket to pet a real life sloth at a zoo last year. And so this is my family, my husband Mike, my 13-year-old son Oliver, and my 8-year-old son Riley. And all of us are petting a very unexcited sloth. This is our new dog Lucy. She is a golden retriever. We got her this past summer, along with everybody else who got a dog during COVID. And so she's a lot bigger now, but that's her when she was still a brand new puppy. So she's been a lot of fun. So that's a little bit about me, and there's a lot of ceramic stuff to learn in the next 6 weeks. But first, I want to learn about you, and I'm going to learn about you through your first clay assignment. So draw a line under those notes that you just took, because now you're going to write down the steps for your first assignment. And then when you're done watching this video, then you can go and do those steps because you'll have them written down in your notebook. So please take a moment to write steps 1 through 6 in your notebook. Pause the video, write down these 6 steps. One little note about step number 3, it says cut a hot dog of clay. Whenever I tell you how much clay you need for an assignment, I will always refer to a piece of fruit because everybody knows about bananas and apples and oranges and I don't know, hamburgers or whatever. So today you need a hot dog of clay, and that's how much clay I want you to take, the size that's approximately equal to a hot dog. If you end up taking too much clay for each assignment, you're not going to have enough clay to do all the assignments. So please try to stick to the suggestion that I give you when I talk about the size of the clay in relation to food. So I'm going to play a demo video now so you can actually see what these steps look like.
You're going to need your block of clay. You're going to need the Ziploc baggie from your swag bag. Specifically, you're going to need your wire cutter, which is a piece of fishing line with 2 washers tied on the end. So, push those sleeves up, open up your bag of clay, you should have a fairly solid chunk like this. And you're going to use this tool. This is what you're always going to use to cut yourself the amount of clay that you need each day. So this is too long for me, so I'm going to wrap it around my index fingers to make it shorter. And I'm going to cut a hot dog-sized amount of clay. And I'm not going to cut across the entire thing, because that would be really hard to gauge if it was hot dog-sized. So instead, I'm going to prop this up so you can see it better. I'm going to cut off one little corner of it. So about 1 inch in, I'm going to cut down. And then once I'm in about 1 inch down, then I'm going to cut out. Okay? So I've just cut the most terrible hot dog shape ever. Let's try that again. I'm going to gain back some of that clay that I lost. All right, so if we put this together, it's vaguely the length and width of a hot dog. All right, and that's what you need for this assignment today. So you're going to take that hot dog of clay and set it aside for now. We're going to come back to that. First, though, it's really important to always seal up your bag so that the other clay that you need to keep fresh and workable for the whole trimester doesn't dry out. All right, then I have my hot dog of clay, and I'm going to tap it on the table until I get something that resembles a rectangular prism. All right, nothing too major, nothing too big here. So now I'm going to cut this into 10 pieces. So I'm using my wire cutter again. 1, 2, should do this so you can see me. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oops, and I have some left over, so I have 11. Now, the point of this wasn't to have these be perfect, okay? I'm just flattening now a little bit more just by pinching them so that they're a little bit bigger. because I'm actually going to be writing on these. Okay, there's 3, 4, 5. Big one that's left over. We'll flatten that guy a little bit more. That's the biggest one. 6, 7. Let's combine 2 here because I ended up having too many. 8, 9, 10. Okay, so those are your 10 tiles.
All right, so now that you have the first 6 tiles written down and figured out, here are your next 3 steps. So step number 7, you're going to get a toothpick or bend open a paper clip. And both of these things should be in your swag bag in the Ziploc baggie. And you're going to use one of those 2 tools to write a word on each tile. So all 10 tiles are going to get a different word or a picture. If you want to draw a little picture, that's fine. But each word or picture should represent something unique about you. You're going to tile me about yourself by writing a word or drawing a picture about you, a unique thing about you, your hobbies, your passions, your family, anything about you that you think would be interesting to learn. And so you're going to have to come up with 10 things, 1 for each tile. Then once you have written on each tile, you're going to set up a camera, either your Chromebook or a phone, and record a short video, no more than a minute, of you introducing yourself using your 10 tiles as prompts. So this is what it should look like.
Hi, my name is Trisha Schmidt. Here's my Schmidt tile. I am 44 years old. I know I don't look it. I'm generally a pretty happy person. I perpetually look on the good side of life. So happy symbolizes me. My family consists of 4 people: my husband, Mike, my 13-year-old Oliver, my 8-year-old Riley, and myself. We just got a new puppy, golden retriever puppy. Her name is Lucy. She is a hot wreck, but we love her because she's cute. I am a potter. I make pots and sell them at places like the American Pottery Festival. It just happened last weekend. I was one of 25 artists that was invited from the entire United States to participate in that pottery show. So that was a big deal. My best Woodbury High School friend is Mrs. Dees. She teaches right next to me. She teaches drawing and painting and AP art, and she's my bestie. My mom, her name is Luann, and she is very sick right now, and so my mom is always on my mind, and I'm thinking about her. And my favorite restaurant is Punch Pizza. Oh my gosh, I'm drooling right now just thinking about Punch Pizza. So those are 10 things about me. Your turn.
So with those 10 tiles, you're going to record this video. You're going to upload it to Schoology, and no one is going to see this video except me. Okay, this is so I can learn more about you. So I do want to see your face in the video. I want to see your tiles in the video, so hold them up close enough to the camera so I can see them and read what's on them. And then make sure that your lighting is good so I can actually see you in the actual video and it's not too dark. All right, thanks. So you're going to upload that video to Schoology for 20 points. Again, if you don't remember how to record a video on your Chromebook, there is a demonstration video for that in the important documents folder on Schoology. So once you've recorded your video, your tiles, we're not done with them. We need those tiles to get dry overnight. So lay them out on your canvas cloth that you have taped to your table at home and just let them be totally uncovered and let them dry out overnight. This is important. We need them to be dry to be able to do the next step with them tomorrow because they're going to evolve and turn into something else. So let them dry out overnight and I'll tell you what we're going to do with them tomorrow. So, just to recap all the things that you will be doing today, you're taking notes on the first 5 ceramic terms, which you should have done already. Actually, it's 4 terms, not 5. You're going to make 10 clay tiles by following the steps that you've written down in your notebook. And you're going to write a thing about yourself on each tile and then film a video of yourself talking about those 10 things. You're going to upload that introduction video to Schoology for 20 points. And then I want you to get in the good habit of double checking to make sure your clay bag is sealed up every day and to make sure your workspace is clean, which you can do with that little sponge that I gave you. Just get it a little bit wet and then wipe down whatever surface you worked on so that you cut down on the dust that you create. So that is it for today. Good luck on those steps. If you have any questions, send me a message on Schoology. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.